The skies above Earth changed the day they arrived. Massive ships broke through the atmosphere. Their hulls gleamed with unearthly metals that reflected the sunlight like shards of distant stars. People looked up in awe and terror. Cities fell silent as everyone stared at the colossal shapes hovering above. Then came the voice. The voice echoed in every language. It reached every corner of the planet. It spoke directly into the minds of billions. We are the Galactic Empire. You are now subjects of the Dominion. Submit and survive. Resist and be erased. Leaders scrambled to respond. Panic swept through the population. Nations that had fought for centuries were suddenly united by one shared enemy. Yet, unity did not mean peace. Arguments erupted in boardrooms and war rooms. Could Earth survive against such a force? Should we surrender? In the heart of Washington, D.C., President Lillian Hayes stood before a panel of global leaders. Her face was stern, her voice unwavering. This is not a choice. If we give up now, we lose everything. We fight or we fall. Across the globe, preparations began. Satellites were reprogrammed. Military bases activated dormant defenses. Civilians were evacuated from major cities. Everyone worked tirelessly. Yet deep down, many believed resistance was futile. The Galactic Empire did not wait for a response. One ship descended above London. Its sheer size blocked out the sun. From its underbelly, beams of light shot down. Buildings crumbled. Streets vanished. The message was clear. Submission was not optional. General Marcus Vega watched the destruction unfold from a secure bunker. He clenched his fists as reports poured in. London was gone. Millions dead. His voice boomed through the room. If they want a war, we will give them hell. Earth's counterattack began. Fighter jets screamed through the skies. Missiles launched from hidden silos. Satellites aimed their weaponized lasers at the invading fleet. The assault was relentless. Yet the Galactic Empire's ships remained unscathed. Their shields are impenetrable, reported a grim-faced scientist. We cannot touch them. Despite the failure, Earth's forces did not retreat. They regrouped, innovated, adapted. A team of scientists led by Dr. Eleanor Kim worked day and night in an underground lab. She was brilliant, relentless, and determined to find a weakness. Weeks passed. The Galactic Empire grew impatient. More cities were destroyed. Millions more lost their lives. The voice returned. This is your final warning. Submit now or face extinction. Dr. Kim burst into the war room. Her face was pale, her eyes wide with urgency. I found it. Their shields are powered by a centralized core. If we overload it, we can bring them down. President Hayes leaned forward. Her voice was calm but filled with determination. How do we do it? We use their own technology against them. Dr. Kim explained. She detailed her plan. It was bold, risky, but it was Earth's only chance. General Vega assembled a team of elite soldiers. They were equipped with experimental suits designed to infiltrate the enemy ships. The mission was clear: disable the core. The team launched at dawn. Their craft was cloaked, a stolen piece of alien technology. They approached the flagship undetected. Inside, they moved through the corridors of the ship. The air was thick. The walls hummed with energy. At the center of the ship, they found it? The core, a pulsating sphere of light that powered the entire fleet. The soldiers set the charges. Time seemed to slow. The Galactic Empire's soldiers appeared. They were tall, armored, armed with weapons Earth had never seen. A fierce battle erupted. The team fought bravely. They were outnumbered, outmatched, yet they held their ground. The charges were set. The countdown began. The remaining soldiers retreated to their craft. Explosions echoed through the ship. The core destabilized. The flagship shuddered. Its shields failed. Earth's forces seized the opportunity. Missiles and lasers rained down on the now vulnerable fleet. One by one, the ships fell. The skies above Earth lit up with fire. The Galactic Empire retreated. Their voice returned one last time. This is not the end. President Hayes addressed the world. Her words were broadcast to every surviving corner of the planet. We have shown them that Earth will not bow. We will rebuild, we will grow stronger, and if they come back, we will be ready. Dr. Kim watched the sun rise from her lab. The battle was over, but the war had only just begun. The aftermath of the Galactic Empire's retreat was a mixture of triumph and devastation. Cities lay in ruins. Billions grieved for lost loved ones. Yet, amidst the sorrow, there was hope. Humanity had achieved the impossible. They had defied an interstellar force. In the ruins of London, small groups of survivors began to rebuild. Engineers restored power to what remained of the infrastructure. Volunteers handed out supplies. Songs of resilience echoed through the shattered streets. Dr. Eleanor Kim stood in a newly formed command center deep beneath the Rockies. Holographic displays filled the room. Images of the destroyed fleet and their salvage technology flickered in the dim light. She had one goal now, to turn the Empire's advanced technology into humanity's greatest weapon. President Hayes convened the Global Council. They discussed how Earth could prepare for the Empire's inevitable return. The world's governments agreed to pool resources. There would no longer be separate nations. There would only be Earth. General Vega led a massive recruitment campaign. Soldiers, engineers, scientists, strategists, everyone had a role to play. Earth's first global defense force was born. The people called it the Terran Alliance. Years passed. Cities rose from the rubble. New technologies revolutionized life on Earth. Humanity had adapted alien energy sources. Starships were being built in orbital shipyards. The scars of war were still visible, but the people had a new purpose. Then, the warning came. It was subtle at first. Deep space monitors detected disturbances near Jupiter's orbit. Unfamiliar energy signatures spiked. Then, just as before, the skies above Earth filled with alien ships. This time, the Galactic Empire brought reinforcements. Their fleet was massive. 1,000 ships blotted out the stars. The voice returned. You have grown bold, but defiance will not save you. This time, there will be no mercy. President Hayes stood before a live broadcast. She wore a uniform of the Terran Alliance. Her face was calm, her voice steady. To the people of Earth, she said one thing. Remember who we are. The Terran fleet launched from orbital stations. Thousands of fighters filled the void of space. Massive battleships armed with energy cannons moved into position. The battle for Earth began. The Galactic Empire attacked with ferocity. Their ships fired beams of energy that could destroy entire cities in seconds. But Earth was ready. Shields powered by alien technology absorbed the blows. Fighters swarmed enemy vessels, targeting weak points identified by Dr. Kim's team. On the ground, the situation was equally intense. The Empire deployed troops to major cities. Human soldiers engaged them in urban warfare. Civilians fought alongside trained forces, using improvised weapons and sheer determination. Dr. Kim's voice came through the command channels. We have a window. Their fleet's new core is exposed. If we strike now, we can end this. General Vega led the charge. His flagship, the Indomitable, spearheaded the assault. Earth's forces converged on the exposed core. The Empire's fleet tightened their defenses, but it was too late. The Indomitable launched a barrage of missiles. They struck the core directly. The explosion lit up the darkness of space. The energy ripple disabled the Empire's remaining ships. On the ground, the alien troops faltered. Their weapons ceased functioning. They were overwhelmed and captured. Humanity had won again. This time, the voice did not return. The Galactic Empire was silent. Years later, Earth was no longer the same. The Terran Alliance had grown into a galactic force. Using salvage technology, humanity built their first interstellar colony. They established alliances with other species oppressed by the Empire. Dr. Kim retired to a quiet life on one of Earth's moons. Her legacy was etched into history. General Vega became a symbol of unity and strength. President Hayes oversaw the birth of a new era for humanity. As Earth's first fleet of starships departed to explore the galaxy, one message was broadcast to all corners of the universe. We are Earth. We stand united. To any who seek to conquer us, remember this, we will not bow. The devastation from the second battle left the Earth shaken, but undefeated. Across the globe, survivors emerged from bunkers, shelters, and underground hideouts to witness the aftermath. The Galactic Empire's mighty fleet, once a symbol of unstoppable conquest, lay in ruins in Earth's orbit. The skies were littered with the wreckage of alien ships, a testament to humanity's resilience and ingenuity. But this was not the end. As fires were extinguished and emergency relief efforts commenced, the world's leaders gathered in the reinforced halls of Unity Station, a newly established orbital command center that represented the Terran Alliance's heart. President Hayes stood at the head of the table, her face etched with exhaustion and determination. "This victory has cost us much," she began, her voice resonating through the room. "But let us be clear, the Empire will not stop. We've wounded them, but an empire as vast as theirs will see this as an opportunity to retaliate. We must act before they recover." The council listened intently as Dr. Eleanor Kim presented her findings. She displayed a hologram of a vast star chart, centered on a cluster of red-marked systems. "This is their heart," she explained. "Their fleet is vast, but their power relies on central command hubs scattered across these sectors. If we strike their infrastructure, we can cripple their ability to wage war." General Marcus Vega stood, his presence commanding respect. "We cannot wait for their next move. We take the fight to them. But this will require every resource we have. Every ounce of courage. If we falter, it won't just be Earth that falls, it will be every species the Empire has enslaved." Preparations began immediately. Earth's factories, now fully operational thanks to reverse-engineered alien technology, shifted to producing starships, weapons, and advanced defense systems. The people of Earth, though battered, rallied behind the cause. The Terran Alliance sent envoys to nearby systems, seeking alliances with other civilizations that had been subjugated by the Empire. To humanity's surprise, many responded. Dozens of alien species, long oppressed and desperate for liberation, pledged their support. They brought unique technologies and warriors to the growing coalition. Months turned into years. Earth transformed into a beacon of hope in the galaxy. Massive fleets were constructed, and soldiers trained alongside their alien allies. A plan was devised, a bold, risky strategy that would strike at the very core of the Galactic Empire's power. As the Terran fleet prepared to depart, President Hayes addressed the people of Earth for what might be the final time. Standing in front of a massive viewport overlooking the stars, she spoke with unwavering conviction. "Today, we fight not just for Earth but for every soul who dreams of freedom. We fight for a future where no empire can crush the will of the people. Whatever happens, know this: humanity has proven that courage and unity can overcome even the darkest odds. We will return, victorious or not, as heroes." The Terran fleet, now numbering thousands of ships, set out into the void. At its head was the Indomitable, with General Vega commanding. Beside him stood Dr. Kim, who had insisted on joining the mission. "If this is the final stand, I'll see it through to the end," she had said. The journey to the Empire's core systems was perilous. The fleet navigated treacherous space riddled with enemy patrols, automated defenses, and collapsing stars. Along the way, they encountered more species who joined the cause, swelling their ranks and strengthening their resolve. Finally, they reached the Empire's central command world, Zeroth Prime. It was a planet-sized fortress encased in layers of shields and orbiting defense platforms. Surrounding it was the largest fleet humanity had ever seen. General Vega stood on the bridge of the Indomitable. "This is it," he said, his voice steady. "Every battle has led us here. Every sacrifice has brought us to this moment. Engage." The Terran Alliance launched its assault. Fighters swarmed through space, weaving between enemy ships. Massive capital ships exchanged devastating volleys of energy blasts. The battlefield was chaos, with explosions lighting up the darkness like distant supernovas. Dr. Kim worked furiously from her station, coordinating the fleet's attacks against the Empire's weak points. We need to disable their planetary shields, she shouted. Without it, we can launch the final strike. A team of elite Terran and alien commandos infiltrated one of Zareth Prime's shield generators. They fought their way through endless corridors, facing resistance at every turn. Many were lost, but their mission succeeded. The shields fell. General Vega seized the opportunity. All ships, target the core, he commanded. The combined fleets unleashed their full power. Beams of energy and missiles rained down on Zareth Prime. The planet shuddered. In a desperate move, the Empire's flagship, a colossal dreadnought larger than any Terran vessel, charged toward the Indomitable. General Vega ordered his ship to intercept. "Sir, it's suicide," one of his officers protested. "If we don't stop them, everything we've fought for ends here," Vega replied. The Indomitable collided with the dreadnought in a cataclysmic explosion, taking both ships with it. The sacrifice allowed the rest of the fleet to deliver the final blow. Zareth Prime's core detonated in a massive chain reaction. The planet exploded, taking the remaining Empire fleet with it. The battle was over. The Terran Alliance returned home as heroes. They had not only secured Earth's survival, but had also freed countless civilizations from the Empire's grasp. The galaxy hailed humanity as liberators. President Hayes, addressing the galaxy from Unity Station, declared the dawn of a new era. "We are no longer alone. Together, we have shown that no force, no matter how powerful, can crush the spirit of freedom. This is not the end of war, but it is the beginning of peace." Dr. Kim, though scarred by the loss of General Vega and countless others, found solace in the knowledge that their sacrifices had paved the way for a brighter future. She dedicated her life to ensuring the Terran Alliance became a symbol of unity, not conquest. Years later, statues of the fallen heroes stood in cities across the galaxy. Humanity had risen from the ashes of invasion to become a force for good, and though the scars of war remained, the stars themselves seemed bright. As Earth continued to explore the cosmos, one message was etched into the annals of history. "We are Earth, we do not conquer. We do not bow, we rise, and together, we endure."